Hello and welcome to Rathod Science Academy. Today in this session we are going to see very important articles that appeared in our today's newspaper. So let's get started. First of all, let us see important topics of the day, and later on we are going to see each and every topic in detail, and at last I will be giving you the prelims practice questions so that you can understand how questions can be asked from that topic. So first topic is CJI's role in CEC appointments was temporary, pending new law, Supreme Court. So this article is talking about appointment of chief election commissioners and election commissioners. And here they are asking about the role of CJI. CJI is nothing but Chief Justice of India, his role in appointments of CEC and EC. So here you have to see, recently government passed one act related to this appointments of CEC and EC. And now the people, there are many petitions you have filed related to that 2023 act. And again now Supreme Court is responding in this way. So here you have to see about appointment of the CEC, which articles are talking about it, and you have to see in detail about Election Commission of India. And this topic is important from your GS paper 2 under polity. And next topic is Vietnam, major pillar of India's Act East policy, says Modi as defense rare earth ties renewed. So this article is talking about India-Vietnam relations. First of all, you have to see Vietnam map, where exactly it is located. And here next keyword you have to see is Act East policy. On this policy, you may get a prelims based question, guys. And here there is the visit of Vietnam delegates to our country, and because of this we are going for new agreements and we are going for revitalization of ties between India and Vietnam. So here you have to see the significance of this visit also. And this topic is important from GS paper 2 under international relations. And next topic is India to host first Big Cat Summit in June. 95 countries set to participate. This article is talking about one important grouping called as International Big Cat Alliance. And here you may get a question on this International Big Cat Alliance this year for sure, guys. Here you have to see which are those big cats, why this alliance came, and what are the objectives of this alliance, and why this summit is conducted by our country in this June. And this topic is important from your environment and ecology. And next topic is overall crime rate drops 6%. Overall crime, cyber crime up by 17%, says NCRB. NCRB came up with a recent report, and this report is telling about crimes in India. And actually this report is saying that there is increased cyber crime by 17%. So you have to write the data so that whenever you are writing any answer related to cyber security related things in GS paper 3, you can use this data directly, guys. From data point of view, you have to see this topic. And even you have to see some facts regarding this. What is this NCRB, National Crimes Record Bureau, from prelims? This topic is important from GS paper 2 under governance. And next topic is fixing structural deficits in India's health system. This article is talking about what are the challenges we are facing in our health care in our country. Here you have to make note of these challenges, and you have to think about what are the measures we can take. That is nothing but what is the way forward, or like what are the solutions for that problems. And this topic is important from GS paper 2 under governance. So all these are the topics now we are going to see. Okay, read out the title is CJI's role in CEC and EC appointments was temporary, pending new law, says Supreme Court. The keyword here is appointment. Of whom? CEC and EC. CEC full form is Chief Election Commissioner. EC is nothing but Election Commissioner, right? Okay, where exactly you will study about these people? We have one constitutional body called as Election Commission of India. And if you see this composition of this Election Commission of India, we have 3 members. One is Chief Election Commissioner, and other 2 are election commissioners. Okay. And which article talks about this people? Article 324 of Indian Constitution talks about this CEC and appointment of this CEC. Who will be appointing these people? President of India will be appointing these people. What is the tenure of these people? 6 years, very good. 6 years is the tenure of this election commissioners. Okay. Now here I said President of India will be appointing these people. Do he or she can appoint anyone as CEC or EC? No. So they have to follow certain advices, of whom we have one committee called the selection committee. And this selection committee will be recommending people to be appointed, and based on the recommendations, President of India will be appointing the CEC and as well as ECs. The issue is entirely related to this selection committee now. Okay. So earlier, who are the members of the selection committee? How many members will be there in the selection committee? Yes, we have 3 members in this selection committee. So who are these 3 members? One is for sure Prime Minister, and another person leader of opposition party. Yes. Next one is, earlier we used to have CJI before 2023. Okay, before 2023 Act, we have in this selection committee CJI is also 1 member. But now after this Act, we replaced this selection committee with PM is same, leader of opposition party is same. Now instead of CJI, we have 1 cabinet minister. Are you understanding? Earlier in selection committee we have PM, LOP, leader of opposition party, and CJI was member. But now later on in 2023 Act, they replaced this CJI with this cabinet minister. That means normally what is the problem with this leader of opposition party? Many a times this post is vacant only. Yes. Then what happens? Whose domination is there? Executive dominance is there. So because of this, many petitions which are filed in Supreme Court. Why? Because there is increased executive dominance in this appointment of CEC and as well as ECs. So because of this, what happened? If there is executive dominance, if they are showing discretion here, obviously it will be having impact on our elections. Yes or no? If this composition of this election commission of India is in hands of executive now, that is Prime Minister and Cabinet Minister, then what happened? Obviously, it will be impacting free and fair elections. Yes or no? These people will be favoring this executive only if they are having dominance in the selection committee. And you know, President is just rubber stamp. So whoever they will be recommending, they have to appoint. That's it, the work of President. Yes. So because of this, there is impact on free and fair elections of our country. So because of this, many people, they filed petitions related to this selection committee to Supreme Court now. Because of this, it is in news. Are you understanding? So this is the story. So in the Selection Commission of India, we have CEC and as well as 2 election commissioners who will be appointed by President of India by the recommendations of this selection committee. So earlier, before this 2023 Act, we have Prime Minister, leader of opposition party, and CJI as part of this selection committee. But now it replaced by this cabinet minister in the place of CJI. Because of this, there is executive dominance in the selection committee. Obviously, it will be having impact on free and fair elections. So because of this, people, they file petitions in Supreme Court regarding this CJI re-inclusion in this selection committee, so that we can ensure fairness and transparency in this selection committee, and we can control the dominance of executive. Are you understanding? So this is this topic. So now let us come to this title once again. So here it is saying that CJI role in CEC and EC appointments was temporary. That means earlier we used to have the role. But now after this act, there was no role. That means it was temporary. So now CJI, again we have to include the role of CJI in this process of election, process of appointment of this election commissioners and CEC. That is a statement which is mainly said by Supreme Court. Now that is the title meaning. Are you understanding? So now what exactly you have to see? Okay, what is that act? The name of the act is Chief Election Commissioners and Other Election Commissioners Appointment, Conditions of Service and Term of Office Act of 2023. This much big name is there for this act. So by this act they changed this selection committee, guys. Okay, if you see about this act replaces Election Commission Conditions of Service of Election Commissions and Transaction of Business Act of 1991. We came up with this act in 1991 and now this 2023 act is completely replacing this earlier act. Now this act will be regulating appointment, tenure, service of this CEC and as well as EC and as well as procedure, guys. Okay, that's it, nothing more than this. And what is the selection committee now? Now the selection committee includes Prime Minister, who is the chairman. Next one is we have leader of opposition party in Lok Sabha. And next one is Union Cabinet Minister, and this person is also nominated by Prime Minister. So because of this, there is increased role of executive in appointment of CEC and EC. Okay, now let us see what are the concerns which are highlighted in these petitions. The first one is exclusion of CJI. Okay, and next one is there is no proper separation of powers. That is one more challenge. And next one here is many a times in this selection committee we have Prime Minister, we have Cabinet Minister, we have leader of opposition party. So leader of opposition party will be vacant in many a times, in many a cases. So because of this, wholly the dominance of executive is seen. And this one is it will be having impact on free and fair elections. And this one is if this search committee and if the selection committee is having this dominance of executive, obviously it will question the credibility of Election Commission of India. So these are the petitions which are before Supreme Court now. And we have to see what Supreme Court will say related to these petitions. Clear? Just remember Article 324 and next one is appointment process, and you have to see the members of selection committee and you have to see tenure of election commissioners, and next you have to see who is eligible to become CEC and as well as EC, and this one is who is appointed and what is the removal process of CEC because it is in news, and next one is you have to see what are the roles and functions of this election commissioners. Clear? You may get a prelims based question because this year removal of CEC motion is in news. Yes or no? And you may get a question on this Election Commission of India this time for sure. And one more constitutional body you have to see is UPSC because this year marks 100 years of UPSC. If you are having that kind of anniversaries, 100 years, 125 years, 150 years, 175 or 75, you will be getting question. So this year we have 150th anniversary of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel also, and we have 500 years of first battle of Panipat, and next one is 1000 years anniversary of Somnath temple. So here if you go on searching the topics, you will be getting at least minimum 10 topics in a year related to this 1000 years anniversary, 500 years, 100 years, 200 years, like that. You have to go through that clearly, guys. Okay, are you understanding? And even recently we have CITES, CITES, that you will be studying in your environment and ecology. This year marks 50 years of CITES. Okay, you have to go through that topics thoroughly, guys, because we can't predict which topic will be there in your examination. If you make the notes of that topics like 1000 years, 500 years, 150 years, 100 years, 50 years, 75 years, for sure from that minimum 2 to 3 questions you can expect. If you are perfect with it, obviously you will be getting 6 marks. 6 marks will be in your pocket. Okay, are you understanding? Okay, now let us see this article. Look at the title, guys. Vietnam, major pillar of India's Act East policy, says Modi as defense rare earth ties renewed. What does it mean? For sure, it is talking about India-Vietnam relations. Keep it aside. And next here, if you see this image, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he is meeting Vietnam President and his name is Lam. Okay, they are meeting in this New Delhi and this visit is from 5th to 11th, I guess. Okay, so now let us see here. This topic is talking about India and Vietnam relations. Vietnam is located in which part of our world? In which continent it is there, Vietnam? It is in Asia only? Okay. So here every country has its own foreign policy. India is also having our own foreign policy. What is the meaning of foreign policy? In simple, they are the guiding principles which will guide our country related to how we have to make relationship with the countries. For example, India is sharing boundary with different countries, right? Land boundary with Pakistan, we have China, we have Bhutan, we have Nepal, we have Bangladesh, we have Myanmar. So with these, here we have Afghanistan, right? So with these bordering country, how we have to make the relations? We have neighborhood first policy. And here we have Southeast Asia part. Yes or no? This is Asia, this is Southeast Asia. So in the Southeast Asia countries, how we have to make the relations? We have Act East policy. Okay, so like that, India is having its own foreign policy. It will be guiding how we have to make the relations or the break relations with the countries. So related to the southeastern part of our country, India is having a foreign policy called as Act East policy. That is a thing which mainly given in this title. Vietnam is a major pillar of Act East policy. That means you have to know what this policy says. And when we came up with this policy and what we are doing under this policy, you have to know this. And next slide, if you read this, it is saying that Modi as defense rare earth ties renewed. That means in this meet of India and Vietnam, we had renewal related to the defense and as well as rare earth metals related agreements. That means we signed defense agreements and rare earth related agreements with Vietnam. That is the meaning of this title. Okay, now let us see in detail. If you see context, it says that Vietnam is a major pillar of India's Act East policy, and even under this vision Mahasagar also, Vietnam plays a very important. What is the meaning of Mahasagar? Sagar means nothing but ocean. It is related to something water. Maha means big. It is nothing but in Indian Ocean region, especially in this Indo-Pacific region, if we want to improve security, obviously we need help of countries which are sharing boundary with this Indian Ocean region. So here Vietnam plays a very important role, and even Vietnam will be helping India regarding the security in this Indian Ocean region. That is the thing which mainly said here. Okay, and this article is saying that we are strengthening in the field of defense and as well as security, and even both countries are helping each other related to rule of law, peace, stability and prosperity. And even India is expanding its ties with Asian countries. Okay, so that is the context. So here in this visit of Vietnam President to India, we are revitalizing our ties so that we can boost our Act East policy. Okay, we are focusing on especially defense ties. Defense ties means nothing but with which country we are having like threat? China. Yes, China is a country from which we are having threat. Recently, do you know China made jellyfish drone? Do you know this jellyfish drone, which will be appearing same as jellyfish, but it is not a living creature, it is a drone. That means if they are releasing that drone in this Indian Ocean region, obviously what happened? It can come to our nearby areas and it can gather information related to our submarines, our bases, everything, because it is fitted with a small camera. It can record all the data and it can transmit that data to Chinese authorities. Then what happened? Obviously, it will be a threat, security threat to our country. So here if we want to counter that kind of threats in these waters, obviously we need help of this kind of countries. We are improving our defense ties, especially in the South China Sea, and even in this naval engagement, training and defense, and even we are focusing on improving of security in this Indo-Pacific region and even navigation in this area, guys. That's the first important point. And as well as we are having a very good trade ties and economic linkages with this Vietnam. Normally, we have around $14.8 billion of trade between India and Vietnam. And Vietnam is one of the India's top Asian trade partners. Obviously, you know that we are facing problem of inflation and even investments are going up. And you know that Indian rupee value is also falling drastically. And recently we discussed one article, $1 is equal to how many rupees? More than 95 rupees. It is first time the record all time high, right? High depreciation in our country. From last 1 year onwards, 12% of value of Indian rupee had been reduced. Normally, how much percentage of depreciation happens? Only 3 to 4% of depreciation happens per year. But now this year it is 12%, it is very, very high. That means obviously it will be going to have impact on our Indian economy in future. So if you want to cut down that kind of impact on economy, we have to search different markets, international markets, so that we can export more and we can do trade more, so that we can at least maintain proper production and proper GDP of our country. So for that reason, Vietnam plays a very important role. As part of Asia, this Vietnam will be providing good trade markets for Indian goods. And this one is which goods we will export to Vietnam? Pharmaceuticals, iron and steel, machinery. And India will be importing electronics, telecom equipment and machinery. If you see PYQs of 2022, there was a question related to Vietnam. They gave in this way, consider the following statements. In that question, they gave 5 statements about only Vietnam. The first statement, it was like unexpected and very surprised question for everyone in the hall. The first statement is Vietnam is one of the largest fast developing countries in the world. And second statement is in Vietnam is having two-party or multi-party country like that. They asked about political system of Vietnam, and they asked about exports and imports of Vietnam. And I can't remember other 2 statements. So they gave 5 statements. Check the question that appeared in 2022 UPSC prelims case, and they gave 5 statements. So like that, if there is any country which is seen highly in news, you may get question regarding that. That means what you have to learn from this, which countries are in news now mostly? Iran is in news, Israel is in news, and in the recent past Venezuela is also in news, right? Venezuela president had been taken away by this US. Yes. So here what exactly you have to see is, you have to see the economy of that country, even political systems of that country you have to see, like with whether it is a single party system or the dual party system or multi party system, and what is the ideology of that party, and you have to see about exports and imports of that country, which resources are there in that countries also, because we have to learn from the PYQs only. PYQs will tell what you have to read and what you should not, right? So they ask question of Vietnam, they may ask question of Iran, they may ask question on Israel, they may ask question on Venezuela. Are you understanding? So in this way you have to see and you have to prepare, guys. Okay, next one here is the present visit is focusing on trade expansion between India and Vietnam. They are focusing on critical technologies like rare earth metals, and this one is they are focusing on defense cooperation. That's it, guys. And once this meet is finalized, and we will be getting lots of articles regarding which are the agreements which had been signed in this India and Vietnam ties. Okay, now let us see about Act East policy. So this Act East policy announced in year 2014, whenever this BJP government came into power, they came up with this Act East policy, and they are focusing on improving economic, strategic and cultural ties with this Southeast Asian nations. And next one is we are focusing on improving connectivity, trade, culture, defense, and even people to people ties with this Southeast Asian countries under this Act East policy. And what are the important aim? The important aim is we have to go for expansion of our economy, expansion of our trade, good culture ties. And next one is we need to increase security in this Indo-Pacific region. And next one is we are focusing on development of northeastern region. Why? Through this northeastern region only we can connect this South Asian countries, right? So if you are improving ties and connectivity with the Southeast Asian region, obviously we can improve the development in this northeastern part of our country also, because this northeastern part is called as gateway to the Southeast Asian region. So these are the aims and objectives and what this policy is about. And we are focusing on development of relations with Southeast Asian nations for what? Economy, trade, and as well as connectivity and culture ties. Okay. Now see this next article, guys. Look at the title. India to host first Big Cat Summit in June. 95 countries set to participate. For sure, you may get a question on this IBCA. Please keep star mark. International Big Cat Alliance. IBCA is nothing but International Big Cat Alliance. Actually, in 2023, there was a question. Everyone expected that the question will be there in this IBCA because this IBCA came up in year 2023. In 2023, this was highly news. Everyone expected that there will be a question for sure regarding IBCA. But surprisingly, UPSC gave question in another format. The question was, consider the following statements. They compared lions and cheetahs. Cheetahs comes under this IBCA project and they are conserving around 7 big cats under that IBCA, and they gave questions by comparing lion and cheetah. They asked about roaring, cheetah is silent, lion roars. And one day I think I said in my current affairs class that there is scent markings of this lions and as well as cheetahs. Scent markings will be done by saliva or urine or feces, and they will be guarding their territories, and that big carnivore will not allow other carnivore to enter into their territory. There will be scent markings, no? That question asked in 2023 itself. That is the second statement. They gave two statements. One is about comparing lion roar and cheetah's roar. Second one is the scent markings. And they asked you to identify like which of the above statements are correct or incorrect. Everyone expected that the question will be on this, like consider the following statements regarding IBCA, and everyone thought that regarding this IBCA you may get a question, but they asked in another way. That means we cannot predict UPSC in which way they can give the question, but that topic is very important. That means you have to see breadth, you have to increase your breadth of the knowledge related to prelims, but in the mains point of view you have to increase the depth. Are you understanding? You have to cover breadth and as well as depth. Breadth is for prelims and for depth it is for mains. Okay, now let us see this article. So we came up with this IBCA, that is International Big Cat Alliance in 2023, but we are going to have first summit in India in 2025, that too in month of June, guys. In the next month we are going to have first summit of IBCA, that too in India. That means it is a major event that is going to happen in our country. You have to know about that. Okay, now let us see the facts related to this IBCA, very important, guys. IBCA launched by our Prime Minister in year 2023. Why? Because 50th anniversary of Project Tiger. On this 50th anniversary of Project Tiger itself, we came up with this International Big Cat Alliance in 2023. And implementation, if you say this, who will be implementing this? NTCA, that is National Tiger Conservation Authority, which comes under the Ministry of Forest and Climate Change, will be implementing this. And this one is what it will do. It will be providing a platform which will share conservation expertise and even fund related initiatives regarding this Conservation of 7 big cat species. Okay, and you have to know those 7 big cat species. Please make a note. Under this IBCA, we are trying to protect tiger, lion, leopard, snow leopard, cheetah, jaguar, puma. Because of this, they gave question by comparing lion and cheetah. Are you understanding? So they took animals and they asked questions. So how can you get a question from this species? Under this IBCA, which of the following species are protected? You may expect a question. They may include other species of animals and they'll give you 4 to 5 animals and they may ask you to identify. That is the first. And next one here is, we are conserving around 7 big cats under this program. Do we have all these big cats in our country? In our country, we have tiger, we know this. We have lion, Asiatic lion in Gir National Park. We have leopards, we have snow leopards, we have cheetahs now. Cheetahs introduction project we did, and we bought cheetahs from which countries? Namibia and South Africa, and now breeding started in our country. Okay, we have cheetahs now. But what about jaguar and puma? Have you ever seen this jaguar and puma in India? These two, jaguar and puma, is not there in our country. That means you may get a statement in this way. Consider the following statements regarding IBCA, and I will be giving you a statement like all these 7 species which are considered under this project are present in India. Then what is that statement? Will be right or wrong? Wrong, because we don't have this jaguar and puma. But in other countries, yes, it is there. Are you understanding? In this way, UPSC can make the statements case. You have to be very careful. Are you understanding what I am saying? Okay, if you see about the membership, on this membership also UPSC can give you a statement. Only tiger containing countries are part of this IBCA. No, it is not like only these species which they are there, they are not part, but even this membership is open to all United Nations member, not only tiger range countries. Not only tiger range countries, the membership is will be open for all United Nations member states, guys. Very important. And next one is why we need this IBCA. So these big cats are under threat now because of habitat loss, deforestation, mining activities, developmental activities, poaching for skin and as well as nails. Yes. And next one is climate change, human animal conflict, etc. So because of this, what happens? Obviously, if this top carnivores are not present in the proper number, what happens? This entire trophical level will be getting affected. Do you know this pyramid? Trophic levels. Here we have primary producers like plants. Who will be grazing on these plants? We have herbivores. They are called as primary consumers. And these herbivores are eaten by carnivores. They comes under secondary consumers. And these carnivores are consumed by top carnivores. They comes under tertiary. So this big cats comes under top carnivores. So if these numbers are not there, then these number cannot be maintained. These numbers will be like increased. So what happens? Obviously, it will be affecting food chain. So because of this, it is in news. Are you understanding? Okay, and I want to tell you one more thing, guys. How many of you saw 2025 UPSC paper? No idea. 2025 paper you have seen. So in 2025 paper, there is one question related to one species. What is that species? Peacock tornulata. It is a spider. Yes. Regarding that peacock tornulata, there is one current affairs, guys. Please add that. So last time they gave question regarding this peacock tornulata in this way. Consider the following statements regarding peacock tornulata, and they said that it is one so and so species. It is present in this area, like that they gave you question. So actually this peacock tornulata is a spider, and the specialty of this is it will be appearing in this peacock color. Normally you know, like dark blue, mixture of blue and green like color, yeah, right? So this spider will be also appearing in this dark blue in color. And what is happening for this spider is it is normally seen only in Eastern Ghats region. Only it is seen in Eastern Ghats region, and this spider species only seen in India. Outside of India, we cannot see this spider. That is a specialty of this spider, and the number of this spider is reducing drastically because of habitat loss, deforestation, and next one is this spider is catched just to keep as a pet in the homes. So it is mainly sent to other countries as exotic species also. So because of this, this number is decreasing. So because of this, now AP government launched survey and conservation for this peacock tornillata. So whenever we study about conservation projects, we know about Project Tiger, Project Elephant, Project Dolphin, Project Rhinoceros, only big animals, right? But this is the only spider now government is focusing on conservation of this spider, guys. Now tell me guys, what is the role of a spider? Why we have to save this spider? Is that interesting or not? Government is focusing on survey, conservation on this spider means it plays a very important role in our environment. If it is not playing important role, obviously we cannot focus on that animal, no. And this peacock tarnulata is in critically endangered category. That is also very important point. Now tell me guys, what is the role played by a spider? What spider will do in your home? In homes also we have lots of spider, no, and we don't like the spider itself. Now tell me guys, what is the role played by a spider? What this will do? Net. What is the use of a net? Have you touched that net any times? Didn't participate in cleaning of home even once? Then tell me how this net will be? It will be sticky. Why is this spider will build that nest? For trapping of insects. Insects will fall on that. Because of the sticky, they cannot move, and the spider will come. Just it will inject something, poison like thing. So what happens that trapped insect will be like decomposed, and whatever the water which will be forming, no, the spider will just drink that water and it will survive. It will not eat that insect directly. That is the mechanism how the spider works. It, especially in this forest regions, it will be controlling the number of insects by this spider webs. That is a role played by this spider. Especially poisonous insects number will be controlled in this forest. So if this spider is not there means obviously insects population will be increased, and if insects will be increased, it will be spreading the disease for this forest animals, wild animals. Okay, so here this is the one current affairs, please make a note. You may also get a question on this because UPSC has a tendency to ask questions which asked in 2024 and 2025, 2 to 5 questions are interlinked. In 2025, in 2026, at least 2 to 3 questions you can get from that themes itself. So because of this, before going to examination, you have to know thoroughly about this 2025 themes. One theme is peacock tarantula, and now AP government started this program. Because of this, you have to know this. Are you understanding? So if this comes means you should not miss your 2 marks. That is the idea why I am telling this. Okay, now let us see next article. Look at this title, guys. Overall crime rate dropped 6%. Cyber crime up by 17%. NCRB data says this. Okay, what is this article talking about? Crimes in India. Okay, in which subject you can see this, guys? Internal security, because if crimes are happening in our country, can we maintain law and order? No. Murdering the people, communal violence, and robberies. So if this kind of things are happening, can we ensure people will stay with safe? No, right? So here you have to make note down of this data. Please make a note, guys. Crime rate, overall crime rate reduced by 6%. Overall crime rate reduced by 6% when compared with 2023 to 2024. When compared with 2023 to 2024. Next line. There is increased cyber crime cases. There is increased cyber crime cases. there is increased cyber crime cases by 17%. There is increased cyber crime cases by 17% according to NCRB data. According to NCRB data. Okay, next one is increased suicidal cases in 2024. Increased suicidal cases in 2024. And if you see this infographic which says about which category of people are committing suicide more in our country. So first one is daily wage earners. They are included in around 31% of daily wage earners are committing suicides. And households is 13%. Self-employed is 10.5%. Professionals 9.9%. Unemployed people 8.7%. And students 8.5%. Farming sector 6.2%. Like that. So here if you see in mains how they can ask a question from this. In 2022 in society paper, they asked a question related to suicides of women. Why women suicides are increasing in our society, and they asked about what measures can be taken so that we can control the suicides in India and what are the reasons of suicides for women in India. So if you are getting this kind of reports, obviously UPSC has a tendency to ask a question. They may ask about now daily. Now if you compare here, who is committing more suicides? Daily wage earners. So now this 2026, how can you expect a question? In recent NCRB data related to suicides, which says 31% of daily wage earners are committing suicide in our country. In this context, what are the reasons and suggest some measures? Is this a possible question if you see PYQ? So now your work is you have to know the reasons why this daily wage earners are committing suicide. What do you think, guys? Why this daily wage earners are committing suicides? Technological adaptation. Okay, we are using technology so that there is no proper availability of work for this daily wage earners. Okay, accepted. Next. Increase the debt burden. If they are not getting proper salary, proper work, if they are having any health issues or medical conditions, obviously that will increase this debt burden. And next one is the marriages are lavish in our country compared to that of any other country. They will spend huge amount of money on marriages. Even this daily laborers also will be spending lots of amount on this marriages. They will get that money from a money lender and they will do this marriage. Obviously, if they cannot pay this debt, that will leads to this kind of suicides. Especially in India, people give more value for this honor. If somebody is coming and asking that you didn't pay money and if they're coming in front of your home, what will you feel? You'll feel bad. Yes or no? Because of that reason also, many people they will commit suicide. Next. Think about these reasons, guys, and tell me what measures can be taken. And if you are a district collector, how can you control suicides in your district? That may be a case study in your ethics, who knows? Think on that, guys. Okay, don't remember all this data. You can't remember this 4,000, 5,000, 6,000. You cannot, it won't happen also. So just remember this approximate data. Only these 3 to 4 lines, but you have to focus on exactly what are the reasons, what can be done, what government is doing so far. See this article, guys. Fixing structural deficits in India's health system. What does it mean? It is talking about our health system in our country. So if you see our health system, we have tertiary care, we have secondary care and we have primary care. Especially in villages, rural areas, we have primary healthcare centers. So there will be one doctor, mostly we have nurse and attender. So they will be providing like tablets, injections Okay, small treatment only they'll do. And we have secondary treatments nearby towns, and tertiary treatment is nothing but multi-specialty or super specialty hospitals in urban areas. So now you guys tell me, what are the problems in our healthcare system in our country, guys? And this article is very important because this article is written by Public Health System and Policy Development Advisor itself, who is advisor to our government. He wrote this article. That means he will be giving information, whatever that is authentic information. Now tell me guys, what are the problems do we have in our healthcare sector? What do you think? Yes, very good. Vacancy of doctors, accepted. Doctor to patient ratio is very less. Patients are more, doctors are less. Next. Expenses is more, yes. Next. Okay, not non-availability of drugs. Okay, accepted. Yes, infrastructure gaps. Next. Medicines means chemicals only. Okay, less interest towards government hospital, but people are going to private hospital more. Okay, accepted. Next. Okay, doctors have their own private clinics and people will be called to that private clinics after this timings. Yes, accepted. Next. Okay, mostly the diagnostic things will take a lot of time. Instant reports we will not get. Okay, because of that delaying of treatment can also happen. Accepted. Next. Okay, irrational use of medicines. Accepted. I did my project on that only. Next. Okay, let us see what he said. And whatever the information he said is like authenticated, please make a note if you have come across any new point. The first one is public funding. Inadequate public funding. And there is always misalignment with our budget. Whatever exactly the funds required for this healthcare sector, government is not providing that. And next problem here is high out of pocket expenditure. Even if you go to government hospital, all facilities are not there in that. So you have to get assistance from private labs or private medical shops, etc. And next one here is infrastructure is not there properly related to diagnostics, maintenance and even staff. And next one is we are focusing on especially treatment purpose. Like if we get disease, after getting disease only we are going to hospital. But rather than that, we are not focusing on prevention. Prevention and primary care is always underfunded in our country. And this one is there is severe shortage of beds. We find this problem especially during this COVID-19 time. COVID-19 time, not only we don't have this vaccines, but even we don't have even proper beds also. At that time, auditoriums also government arranged beds for quarantine centers, everything, right? So here the problem here is there is no proper beds also, and mostly the population is rural and they are not having advanced infrastructure in this primary healthcare centers. And next one here is many primary healthcare centers and community healthcare centers, they don't have proper maintenance of hospitals and even lack of power, lack of water, etc. And next one here is healthcare workforce shortage we have, and even we have maldistribution of funds. And next one is there is fragmented delivery and weak primary and preventive healthcare. And quality of healthcare is also not fine, and even governance issues we have and equity issues. All these are the major problems that we can see in our healthcare centers case. And now here you have to think like, if you are a district collector, how can you improve your healthcare services in your district? You have to think that. And if you want to give suggestions to the government related to improving of healthcare, you have to make at least 5 innovative points related to how can we support healthcare system and how can we make this healthcare system better in our country. Are you understanding? Because if you get IS in a very young age, you'll go till this cabinet secretary. At that time, what is your work? You have to give suggestions to the government only. That means you have to think always about the innovative ideas, and you have to learn the best practices from other countries, what they are doing, and how can we implement that best practices in our country. You need to gain that kind of knowledge, guys. So now your work is you have to search how other countries are providing best health care compared to that of India. So don't go to like advanced countries. So just go to Bhutan, just to see what is happening in Nepal. And do you know what is happening in this Nepal? In Nepal, Gen Z protest happened. Later on, elections happened. Now, new leader. So he is making a drastical changes in Nepal, and he's one of the successful. So just Google like what are the advancements came up in Nepal and how the people are satisfied with this new government. So think that just to see like what kind of revolutions they are coming up with. They are entirely using AI. They are focusing on best service delivery, and everything is going for automation, and they are using ICT more, so that people are getting satisfied related to public service delivery. So just Google about how Nepal new government is focusing and try to write some points from that so that you can include in our answers. Okay, because Nepal is bordering country, and we are not talking about excellent developed countries like Europe, right? So we are comparing like-minded countries, India, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, they are like-minded countries. Just take out the best practices in nearby countries and try to give as a solution or a way forward in your answers. Then that will give you an edge in your answers. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Okay, see this question, guys. Today I came up with only one question. Today my kids harassed me like anything. Okay, see this. With reference to selection committee for appointment of chief election commissioner and election commissioners, consider the following statements. First one is the selection committee was provided statutory backing through Chief Election Commissioners and Other Election Commissioners Act 2023. Second one is the committee consists of Prime Minister, Leader of Opposition of Lok Sabha and Chief Justice of India. Next one is the Prime Minister act as a chairperson of selection committee. And fourth one is appointments are made by President based on the recommendations of selection committee. Yes, because of this act only we came up with that selection committee. Yes, I said about before act and after act. So after act, what is the composition of selection committee? CJ is there or not there? Not there, but they gave CJI. Means it is right or wrong? It is wrong. And what about this third one? Prime Minister's chairman or not? Obviously. And what about this appointments are made by President based on? Yes, it is right or wrong? Answer is A, 1, 3 and 4. Are you understanding? In this way you have to solve the questions. Okay, that's all guys. By this I'm concluding. Thank you so much for watching this class. And if you like this class, please do hit the like button. And if you want to join GS Foundation course, if you want to start your UPSC preparation, we are going to launch a new batch from Monday onwards, guys. And we are providing on both offline and online. And if you have any doubts or queries, and if you want to get more details of this course, please contact us on this number 8074765513. And if you want to visit our academy, you can come and you can visit. It is located in Ashok Nagar, Hyderabad, exactly above Vikas Book Center, 2nd and 3rd floor, guys. And I will be available in office from morning to evening. You can come and you can visit and you can talk to me directly. And I wish you all the best.